Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on Episode 8 of Doctor Who Series 8, Mummy on the Orient Express. And I gotta say, I thoroughly loved this episode. It's amazing watching this particular series, and it seems like every single episode is better than the last. At least to me, this is my current favorite. And that's not least of which because I feel like, as we've talked about all of the episodes for this series, there have been a lot of callbacks to the classic series. Peter Capaldi's Doctor has felt very much like a throwback to classic Doctors and such like that. But this is the first episode that's come along that from beginning to end feels like it was cherry-picked out of the Tom Baker era to me. Things like Pyramids of Mars and that kind of vibe, the character dynamics, the story, the sort of ambiance of this episode just rocked my world in that classic series aesthetic. I loved the creature effects with this mummy and the sort of twisty-turny elements of the story revolving around it. Once again, we have an emphasis on a soldier, a soldier lost in battle, and the Doctor's only means of actually stopping this thing is issuing a surrender and saying you can stand down. That was just profound and amazing to me, totally captivated me. Of course, the grand mystery, seeing the Doctor bumped up to a detective sort of format once again, akin to Sherlock Holmes or something like that, and the aesthetic of all these, experts and things being brought onto this train, but the train is a ruse entirely. It's not like a vacation thing, it's actually a lab of sorts. Thought that was absolutely intriguing as all hell. I also love that we're carrying over with this sort of strained relationship dynamic going on between Clara and the Doctor. I love that they didn't just bump it by the wayside, that while it's not the crux of this episode, it's still holding its weight and importance in their relationship. She still very much wants to call it quits with the Doctor. And then, of course, by the end, we see her kind of go back on her words a little bit. But it almost signals to my mind, because we're seeing throughout the entire episode, she's very much talking to that woman who's Gran, who always wanted her to call her mom. And the old evil bag was probably deserving of the death that she was so cruelly served and whatever like that. But this woman is serving very much as a counselor to Clara all the way through and trying to get her to jog her mind and think things through a little bit more. Danny Pink kind of also is over the phone a little bit, not very much believing Clara's ready to be done with the Doctor and everything like that, even though Clara seems certain about it. But by the end, we see her sort of backpedal on that and want to go on further adventures with the Doctor, and it's that moment that basically signs off in my mind, Clara's going. Clara's going to be gone. She's either going to be killed off or she's going to leave by the end of the series. To have her just bold-facedly suddenly decide like that, hey, I'm on board, I want more adventures, forget it. She, her time has come, put it that way. I'm not too happy about that, frankly, but I loved the classic series references in this episode, like the jelly babies in the cigarette case. Most notably, the character, one of the standout characters for me, was the chief engineer on the train, Perkins, who, all throughout I'm thinking, like, where do I get this vibe from? Where am I picking this, familiar vibe from with this character dynamic between the Doctor and Perkins? And I realized the Armageddon factor, his old friend Drax, sort of a renegade Time Lord, I think, who was very much a techie kind of person, that kind of thing, really got that vibe, especially when he's being asked by the Doctor, do you want to maybe come along and you could do maintenance on the TARDIS, that kind of thing. And he looks up at him and he says, you know what, I think something like this could change a man. The way he delivers that line makes me think there is some familiarity between them. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it's not the case. But that's the vibe I had. And so from beginning to end, excellent episode, above par. Loved it from beginning to end. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of it if you've seen it, and many thanks to Howard once again for making it possible. So otherwise, I hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.